Let's take a deeper look at the envelope section in Wavetable. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually click this arrow next to the word Wavetable, and it will pop up the interface and make it larger. And now we can see the 3 envelopes and the 2 LFOs. We'll go over LFOs in a later video. If I continue to drag this up, it'll actually really expand the interface so we can see both oscillator sections, the actual wavetables for each oscillator, as well as the envelopes, LFOs. And then down here, we have the filter section and the modulation matrix, and then the master, the global controls here. So the first thing I need to do is record something, and I'm going to turn my metronome on, and I'm just going to record a simple chord that'll repeat a couple of times. That'll do it. I need to quantize that. My playing is a little late because of the latency in this tutorial software. I could quantize this automatically. If I go here, this transform section here, and choose quantize quarter notes. I'm going to hit this little arrow here. That's going to apply the quantization. Okay, and now I'm going to turn the metronome off and play it. Let's hear how it sounds. Great. Now let's manipulate that sound with this amplitude envelope. So all I'm going to do is just move these elements around, and you'll hear how it affects the sound. So it sort of swells in now because I made the attack slower. And you can see that down here, the attack is exactly 421 milliseconds. What if I make the decay time longer? And I make the sustain level lower. If I make it very short, it becomes more of a percussive sound. Very, very quiet. Let's mess with the release here. So you get the idea. You can adjust the sound with this envelope. Now, this is a very cool box where it says none. If I click this, you can set this to trigger or loop. We'll cover trigger in more detail in a later video, but let's look at loop for now. Loop is going to loop this envelope. And how fast will it loop it? Well, it depends on the decay time and the release time and the attack time. So let's just listen to what it does. Pretty cool, interesting effect here. If I make the notes longer, then it will give more material for this envelope to work with. Now, a lot of the envelopes in Ableton have looping ability. And so it's just something to play around with. We'll see it more in this filter envelope we're about to create here. Now let's take a closer look here at envelope 2 and what we can do with it. We're going to use this to control the frequency of filter 1. This is a low pass filter. It's kind of a classic sort of effect here. We can add a bit of resonance if we want to enhance the effect. And we're going to have it sweep back and forth according to the shape of this envelope. Now, there's a couple of things we need to change first. Number one, the sound we have right now is not going to be super helpful for this. because it's such a simple sound. It's a sine wave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my basic shapes category here, and I'm going to get something a little more complex, like a sawtooth wave, saw dual 1 in this case. And now this is what it sounds like. And if I bring that filter back, you see it's quite a difference. If we were using just regular sine waves, it wouldn't be that dramatic. And then I'm going to click on this frequency knob, and then you'll notice it pops up here in the modulation matrix. And I'm going to go to envelope 2 and assign that to filter 1 frequency at 100%. And now this frequency will follow this shape. And if I bring it down more, it'll be more effective. And any changes I make here will be reflected in the sort of speed and shape of that movement. And so you can see that it's pretty cool. What if we loop this? It's going to loop over and over again. It's not really doing that much right now. Part of that, it's because of our notes. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm just going to manipulate these a little bit. I'm going to, come on now, delete these notes. Does not want to select them. And I'm going to make these notes longer. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make my clip 8 bars long, and we're just going to have some fun with a looping envelope. There we go. Plenty of time to work with now. So yes, let's loop this, and the speed of the loop is going to be controlled a lot by the decay and the release time, also by the attack a little bit. You can get a lot of dramatic effects here. You make your sound very different. What if we took this down an octave or so? I'm going to hit Shift down. That takes it down an octave. I'll do one more. That sounds kind of bad. The reason that sounds bad is because at this low pitch, the waves are very large, like the actual audio waves are very large, and they're going to conflict more, so you can't have notes be so close together. So I'm going to just remove this middle note, and we're just going to have an open fifth here, a C to G. And that sounds pretty great. So you can actually have a lot of sound design possibilities here, compositional devices, things like that, all based on envelope control. So there you have it.